What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. It's a brand new day here on June 3rd. 22 hours, 22 minutes left in the day. Here we are at about $106.3 thousand. Yesterday had quite the dramatic recovery at the end of the day there. It was not to be expected, not on my behalf at least. I did think that we were getting a bearish engulfing candle and going down. This is why it's important to wait for daily closes. I get humbled by this lesson time and time again. Waiting for the daily close is very, very important before having any kind of preconceived notions, no matter how bad it looks, because sometimes you get these reversals and it can give you some new life. You know, ultimately, we're just right back where we were before. Instead of, like earlier today when I made my last Bitcoin video, the plan before I made that video was that we would go up to this area and find resistance right at prior support, right? The plan got changed in the last video. The plan's back on this video. You know, that's just what it is. We're probably going up, sticking to the original idea that it would go to this prior area of support, somewhere around 107K, maybe even just above there or just below there, which we're practically at now. Find resistance, and then make your final onslaught to the downside. I think it'll be a very insignificant move to the downside. We will break below this low, and I don't think it's going to be too dramatic afterwards, right? We're going to see prices that are around 101, 102K, probably just below 102K. That's my expectation at the very least. Looking at this 4-hour RSI here, we are in the areas of resistance that we found before. We've even found resistance back here when we were figuring our things out. So it's very possible we could find resistance now, maybe even go a little bit higher before finding resistance, but sometime soon. Looking at the 1-hour time frame, we do look bullish. Hold on, guys. I don't know what's wrong with my voice. We do look bullish. We've got higher highs and higher lows, all that stuff. We're in the overbought zone a good degree. We're kind of at an area that we found resistance here before and resistance here before, resistance there. Sometimes we go a little bit higher, but I think that this move is coming to the end of its ropes, right? We've got, if we move a little bit higher, it's just going to be a little bit. Like truly, we're at 106.3 thousand. Maybe we move up to 107.6K or something like that, but I doubt that we break out any higher than that. To invalidate the notion that we're going to go lower, right? Because right now I'm expecting 101.7, right? 101.7 thousand, somewhere around there, something around these lows. That's what I'm expecting as an end result from this high to low endeavor here, okay? To invalidate that, make that no longer a possibility, or at least a probability, you would have to get above about, I would have to see you above 109K on a daily closing basis, above 109K, and even then I'd probably rather you be above these daily closing highs, which is about 110K. So don't talk to me until we're at 109 or 110K about this being the low, right? We don't know if it's the low yet. It's very possible it could be. It's very possible it could be, and you should not be fading Bitcoin or any other cryptos right now, because it's very possible that this is the low and that we're on our way to new highs. Corrective phases only take 1, 2, 3 legs most of the time. So I mean, we've got that here. We could go lower. We absolutely could go, and I'm maintaining that stance, but I'm just saying you don't want to fade Bitcoin or altcoins right now, because we are on the precipice, man. If you look at Ethereum reminds me of Bitcoin moving up and then moving sideways and then moving up. It wouldn't surprise me at all if Ethereum started to outperform Bitcoin here this week, and that could cause a surge in altcoins, man. We could get a little alt rally, little beginning pump into this alt season. So hold your Bitcoins, hold your cryptos, your altcoins. Things are going to get pretty exciting pretty soon. Even if it's not this week, within the next 2 weeks, things are going to get very exciting. Here we are at 106K now. My expectation, again, is to go just a little bit above this. It's very common to go just above your 382 and then come down, right? It's very, very common. So that's the belief right now. We're going to go just above it, find resistance right there, and then come down to 101.7K. Again, we derive 101.7 from the Fibonacci retracement tool here. We put it at the low to the high, and we get 101.7K right there, right? So something around that area, that makes sense. We could go a little bit below there, but just a little bit. If we go too much below there, it'll start to make sense that 95.8K is the outcome, and I don't want to see that happen. That's going to put off our higher targets for quite some time, right? Because if this is the target to go down there, we're probably not just going to make it in one day. It'll be a multi-week kind of process, and then recovery will be another week process. It'll be July before we're even at new all-time highs. We don't want to see that, man. We want to get going now. But it's probably going to be another week or so. I would think we've got 10 days or less of consolidating for Bitcoin in this range still. I do expect that we'll move higher, and the fact that we've consolidated for an extended amount of time already in comparison to this run so far, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks green, and now we've actually consolidated for a week, or actually over a week in this zone here. The longest kind of consolidation since we started moving up. I would expect that we get a bigger move up too. So from a high to a low, my expectation would be that we don't stop at the 1272, but we probably bypass that and go to the 1414, 1618 area. The next target area, all I'm trying to say for Bitcoin is it's at about 130 to 140K. The expectation would be that we get there probably over the next couple of weeks, if not certainly by the end of June. That's the expectation. I wouldn't be surprised at all if by the end of June we were above this range, but this is the next target. So this is what we're considering. By the end of June, I wouldn't be surprised if we had 150 to 160K and even beyond that, right? We're looking for this $180,000 target, something just above that even, probably sometime in July, early July, mid-July, late July, whatever. That's the outcome that we're looking for ultimately. I do believe Bitcoin's on a path higher that will take us all the way up to about 180 to 190K, but it starts here. It starts here at 106.3K, going down to 101.7. We'll probably consolidate for the rest of this week and then move up to about 130 to 140, where we will consolidate again probably sometime later this month of June, and then going into the end of the month we'll start to grow on our ultimate toward our ultimate destination of 180 to 190,000 dollars. That's the expectation that I have for you. So that's all I got. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this. 5 days, 23 hours left in the week. I am convinced that this week will close red, but let's see how that goes. I think that will be a little bit lower, near 100,000. Very boring week. I'm not expecting too much, but we'll see how it goes. All right, bye-bye.